welcome you into the live broadcast of Texas League Baseball. It is the fourth game of our six-game set between the visiting San Antonio Missions and your Corpus Christi Hooks. Well, got to say, we are late getting into this one and now taken down to the field on a gray Friday evening as we get ready to go. I'm also joined in the booth by my partner, Bob. How you doing there, Bob?
Doing good, John. How are you?
Doing marvelous. Well, I got to say, we'll go over some scores as we get ready to go for yesterday. So far, Alejandro Torres, a right-hander, is getting on the mound for Corpus Christi. And got to say, a pretty good night for him as he gets going here for the Hooks. The shortstop, Luis Verdugo, getting set now for San Antonio. And the first pitch, let's have the three words, please. Let's play ball. And the first pitch is in for a cold strike, and it's 0-1. We are underway, 7:21 p.m. Gray skies as we get going. Thunderstorms and rain likely at the end of this evening. So far, San Antonio and other surrounding cities will get thunderstorms by later on. Well, the first out of the inning comes in as that will be out number one. Verdugo down on strikes. Robert Gonzalez coming up now. Sanabria, Carpathos, Fabian, Verdugo, Murphy, and Haynes rounded out for San Antonio. There's two right-handed batters over 7 left-handed batters, 0 switch hitters, which pretty good for the Missions coming into this one. All right, final scores. Springfield winning against Wichita last night, 8-6. Corpus Christi winning against San Antonio, 1-0. Northwest Arkansas, 6-5 through 10 innings. Frisco winning 13-4 in double digits. Amarillo winning against Midland, 9-5. And so far, those are the scores of last night's ball games. Got to say, Amarillo now tying up against San Antonio. Midland and Corpus Christi are in a foot race as we speak right now. But so far, a Corpus Christi win would put them up to 4th place. Rockhounds would be put down to the last place of the South Division. So far, pretty good. Ball. I want to right there in the count now, 2-2. If Amarillo wins tonight against the Midland Rockhounds, San Antonio will be eliminated from the playoff chance. Well, that'll be the second strikeout for Kai Roberts. And here is the catcher, Ethan Salas.
That missed. That's a ball.
He'll come in. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the first inning for San Antonio. So far, 4 weeks left of this first half South Division. San Antonio having, after tonight, 2 more games here in Corpus Christi, Saturday and Sunday. And after that, won't see them anymore here at Bayfront Park for the rest of the year. Missions head north. They go to Arkansas to take on the Arkansas Travelers in a 6-game set next week. They're at All-American Ballpark, North Little Rock, Arkansas. What's that? Going to be a pivotal series against the Travelers. Missions return to San Antonio. They take on the Amarillo Sod Poodles for their first and last game, 6-game set against Amarillo. And then it's off to Midland to conclude the first half of the regular season. No balls, 1 strike now to Romeo Sanabria after the walk. A runner out there at first, 2 outs, top of the first here for the Missions. So pretty good night here tonight, getting going in this one. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be high in the air. An out-of-play foul as it'll land untouched. And the count now, 0-2 to Sanabria. Right there, swing and a miss, got him down, and that ends the inning. Third base shot here as we exit the first half of the inning. And on now to the bottom of the first, it's no score through half an inning. So we'll be right back here as the San Antonio starter on the mound will come in after commercial messages. All set to go for the bottom of the first right here at the Hooks Baseball Network. Well, that'll bring up the right-hander Logan Gillespie as he comes in. ERA 2.57, strikeout 12.9%, 250 over a 300 average on the right-hand and left-handed batters, which that is pretty good for him on the mound for the Missions. The second baseman is Riley Unruh. He'll lead it off here for the bottom of the first inning. Greeting up the starter from San Antonio, Logan Gillespie. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that is going to be right there. Line straight away to left field, through for a first hit, and they're going to get him off to a good start as he coasts in the second on a leadoff double.
Center fielder.
Man, and I got to say there, John, he hit that ball right there up the left field, and he had it right where he wanted it. No doubt about it. Lucas Spence, the next batter, coming up for Corpus Christi. And that's going to be well hit, and that's getting down the line drive base hit. And the Hooks will score in, and that will be a RBI double, and Spence now in second after the RBI, and getting in the score is Riley Unruh as he comes around from second. That right there pretty good as now Corpus Christi up now by 1-0 and now have a pretty good sizable lead. Here is the pitch to Arturo Flores. 3-4-5 due up now here in the bottom of the first. First two batters come in, and they get both base hits. Riley Unruh got the second, and then Lucas Spence came in and drew in a base hit that got him home. Scoring in. Here is the 1-1, and here's the pitch. And he's going down to third. Got him right there at the plate. And there is one down as they nab him out. He stole two early, and right there, camera shot got him. And so far, that is out number one on the play, which that's pretty good. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Arturo Flores. Great camera shot from that third base area, which they got him really good. That was a magnificent play, if you ask me there, John. Yeah, Bob, you're absolutely right. Right there, the count now 2-2. Don't forget, after the ball game, stick around and enjoy the best fireworks show. if there is one, because evidently at the end of this ball game we're supposed to have thunderstorms. Well, right there, and out number 2 is Flores going down on strikes. And quickly 2 down here in the bottom of the first. On roast bench, Flores will lean it off tonight. Austin, Baez, Whitaker, Pratt, Powell, and Janek coming in for Corpus Christi. The lineup looks 7 right-handed batters, 1 left-handed batter, and 1 switch hitter coming up now for Corpus Christi in the lineup. Just got to say, pretty good on that. Here's the first pitch to Trevor Austin as that's in for a cold strike. It's 0-1. Tulsa leading 2-0 there at Riverboat Field in North Little Rock, Arkansas, which I got to say, pretty good. Here is the 0-1. Right there, liner straight away up to right field, through for a hit. Third hit for Corpus Christi here tonight as they get in.
Number 29.
Here is Luis Baez. Baez coming in. Here's the pitch, and that is in for a strike. The count now 0-1 to the right-hander. The right-handed right-hander right fielder. As they call that, a triple R right there. Here's the 0-2. Right there, called third strike, and they got him. So, Corpus Christi gets a run, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Top half of the second inning, Corpus Christi in front. It's 1-0 Hooks. Braden Cartathios coming up now for San Antonio when we come back to the broadcast. Hooks Baseball is presented by Whataburger, always served hot and fresh for all fans of the Corpus Christi Hooks. Ball set to go for the top of the second inning for San Antonio. Right now, Hooks Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Braden Carpathios coming in as we lead it off.
That's a ball.
As that one is outside, it's 1 ball and no strikes, so lead off the half inning. Trey Dabrowski coming in. The Corpus Christi bullpen setting to warm up there for relief position. 1 ball and no strikes now to Carpathios, and that is downstairs. The count now 2-0. So far, except for Corpus Christi and Tulsa, 2 teams already with the score. And look out, that just about nearly got him in the nose. Phew. Jeez, look out there. Boy, and he had a few words to say. Carpathios says, hey, watch where you're throwing. All right, so that's going to be a challenge pitch right there. And so far, that is still going to be upheld. 3-1 the count. Boy, one way you could get punked in the face by a fastball, you know, you could get some major injuries at a 96 to 100 mile per hour fastball. If you get drilled in the face, you might get some teeth knocked out. Bloody nose too, that's for sure. And right there, swing and a miss in the full count. Carpathios going down on strikes. and that is out number 1. Well, that's why they have the batting helmets, because if they get hit in the head, that helmet normally protects them. That is for sure. That if a baseball was to hit that helmet and knock the helmet right off, it would be the batter lying flat on the ground. And a lot of times you look at batters in the major leagues, they face the same situations when they play their ball games. Say, for example, if the San Diego Padres took on the LA Dodgers affiliate, and a pitcher from LA would drill a pitcher from the Padres or a batter from the Padres, don't matter who is in the lineup, but somebody gets drilled, they're going flat down on the, on the pavement. Yeah, that is for sure. You don't lie about that. No, I do not. I've seen it in YouTube videos. I've seen it a lot of times. Oh, look out. There again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's the second time Alejandro Horace just gets out there and almost plunks somebody in the face with his fastball. You got to watch out. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count now, and here is the pitch. And that one outside for ball 4, and the designated hitter Fabian is being on first. All right, first time around, the manager's coming out of the dugout, and that's going to do for Alejandro Torres here tonight as he pulls him out, and now they're going to have a reliever come in. Ball game just getting underway. Here is Trey Dabrowski, a left-hander. 98 in the 4-seam, curveball, changeup, and a 2-seam fastball getting going for Corpus Christi. And so far, the manager now giving the ball to his left-hander reliever. Which, gotta say now, pretty good when they get him going. Here's Rosemond Verdugo as he fouls that one off. It's a countdown, 0-1. Well, Arkansas in the lead against Frisco, 1-0. Top half of the second inning there at Statesman's Park. Apparently, San Antonio doesn't go to Statesman's Park until the second half of the regular season. That is after San Antonio takes on Springfield. So the month of August looks like this. Amarillo for the last 2 games there at Wateridge Field. Then coming home, taking on the Springfield Cardinals. And then headed to Statesman's Park to take on Frisco. And then back to Nelson Wolf Stadium to take on Northwest Arkansas. And then final 6-game home game of the season against Midland. And close it off in Amarillo this year. And we do believe that the 2027 schedule is coming out before too long. That is for sure. Right there. Line drive straightaway up to right field. Through for a hit. And that is getting away as they get the ball back in quickly. Now first and second. 1 walk, 1 base hit here in the half inning for San Antonio. And so far the mission's trying to capitalize. Hopefully they do. And if they don't here tonight and they lose to Corpus Christi, that's a playoff chance eliminated. And they don't get in to win it. Well, left fielder Kai Murphy coming in. If Amarillo beats Midland, Sod Poodles would already clinch that playoff spot. Frisco for sure clinched it against Arkansas. They beat the Travelers 13-4. And yeah, so far that double-digit ball game, that was the nails in the coffin right there. That one is hit high in the air, out of play foul. Between San Antonio and Amarillo, those are the only 2 positions that remains at large tonight. A Corpus Christi win would put the Hooks up to 4th place, Midland down to last place. And a Amarillo win against Midland would put them up to a playoff spot. Well, that is for sure. Amarillo looking to get in there. You know, and I would say Tulsa and Arkansas getting up as well. First and second place positions in this first half. That's why these games at the end, near end of the first half, is pivotal, especially these last 4 weeks. Well, after tonight, 2 games left with Corpus Christi, 6 in Arkansas, 6 in San Antonio against the Sod Poodles, and then 6 in Midland to close off the first half. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2-1, 2 out here in the second inning. And here is the windup and the pitch, and that's going to be a high flyer straight away left field, and that is out number 3, as that will be the side retired. So a walk, a hit, no errors, 2 left, and we head now to the bottom of the second. Corpus Christi in front, 1-0. We're back here as Ty Whitaker gets things going as we lead it off in the bottom of 2. All right, about half time to start up the bottom of the second right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Ty Whitaker getting set to go. 6, 7, 8 due up for the bottom of 2 for Corpus Christi. The Hooks out in front here in this ball game by that 1 lone run, and that is in for a strike. The count now 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that is in for the strike, and the count now 0-2. Wind up and the pitch. And that one is chopped foul. Still hanging on. Here's the wind up and the pitch. And that one's going to miss outside for the ball. The count now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to count now to Ty. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. They got him. Blew it right by him for a strikeout. And that's the 3rd for Logan Gillespie. San Antonio pitchers that start here tonight allowed a 7. And now a 3
No
for a
call.
reliever. Or if it's early and a pitcher that is starting in the ball game is not doing too good, then they get pulled out much earlier. It was like Alejandro Torres that we saw here tonight for Corpus Christi. He got pulled during the last half inning, and so far just wasn't doing good. So they just came out and pulled him right off the bat. High in the air, straight away center. Roberts has it in front, and that is out number 2.
Batting 8, the shortstop, number 3.
Well, that'll bring in the shortstop, Caden Powell. As he comes in, is set to go here. Great crowd we have here tonight. Like kids out of school, right there up to right field and through for a hit. Runner going to second now, and he's going to have a 2-out double. Double meat cheeseburgers for Hook fans here tonight. So far, looking pretty good. Walker Janek coming in now. Hits that one straight away. And that goes to the first baseman, Sanabria, as they'll get him for the out. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left on for Corpus Christi. Already 2 comes to an end. 3rd for San Antonio up next. Luis Verdugo coming in, and we'll be set to go here in the half inning coming up right after a break. Top half of the 3rd set to go for the Missions here for the Hooks Baseball Network. Well, the leadoff batter is Luis Verdugo as he comes in. 1 ball, no strikes to lead it off. And here's the pitch. And that is going to be right there. And that's going to get down. Liner straight away. Through for a hit. Coast in the seconds. Verdugo with the leadoff double.
Man, just now in time, and now things are going to get turned for the better.
Well, that's a base hit that has a runner now in scoring position. That's the tying run. Here is center fielder Kai Roberts, and he hits that one out of play foul. It's a count now, 0-1. Got fans watching from San Antonio and also our proud sponsor of West Creek Trail Rides tonight.
I always got to see how great it is to have an organization like the Horseback Riding Ranches San Antonio.
Yep, there's West Creek, Spring Creek, and all types of things. But so far, pretty good. That one is lined out of play, foul, and the count now, 0-2. Here's the 0-2. And that one is high and outside for a ball. 1-2 the count. Jeez. Thought that would have been called a third strike right there. Swing and a miss. Got him. And the center fielder, Kai Roberts, going down on strikes. But now holding on still is the runner there at second. Ethan Salas coming in. Ready to go. And, whoa, look out. Whoa. That nearly gets him in the leg a few inches shy. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at second. And that one is out of play, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike here. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. They get him for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the catcher, Salas. And that is right there, straight away. Down. And he can't make the play. And that will be an error on the first baseman. Ooh, ouch. Well, that stings. Look at that. It ricocheted right off the glove. And there's where the error come in. Salas will reach on the error. And, boy, the runner's getting in. If they score in, Trey Dombrowski is in trouble. He will be getting a talk from the pitching coach. Romeo Sanabria coming in now. First and second, 1 man down, and he could do it right here, right now in this one. Right there, swing and a miss. Boy, that is an off-stride fastball. Man, the count now, 0-2. That is one way you get outfooled by that fastball. That one downstairs, 1-2. 1-2, here's the pitch. And they try to make him chase. Not in time there, Jack. And the count now, 2-2. Here's the pitch. And boy, look out, that just about took his nose off. So full count now, 3-2. Braden Carpathios awaits on deck. And they're trying to get him going. Swing and a miss, and he blew it right by him after he went chasing. And that is out number 2 here in this one. Braden Carpathios, the next batter up. Can he get the 2 runs going? And that one is foul. And the count now, 0-1. Tying run. Getting in. No balls and 1 strike. Man, we got a little gnat in here, and he's flying around. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, getting him down for strike 2. Boy, 1 more strike. The half inning will get done after this. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be lofted high in the air, straightaway right field. And there we go. That ends the inning. Boy, no runs on one hit, no errors, 2 left. And we're 3.5 as the Hooks lead it out in front by 1-0. Riley Unroe coming in as we get things going for the bottom of the third, straight ahead after this commercial message. Well, about set to go for the bottom half of the third. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. 1, 2, and 3, Riley Unroe leading it off for Corpus Christi. Logan Gillespie starting his third inning of work for San Antonio. That one right there, liner straight away, hugs the line, and that is through for a hit. And boy, Corpus Christi now getting off another leadoff spot, just like they did in the first inning. And boy, I tell you one thing, that is just getting pretty spicy out there. Logan Spence coming in. Here's the pitch to him. Double play potential for the Missions. Spence was 1 for 1. RBI single in the first inning. Here's the pitch. That one hit high in the air, out of play. And it'll go foul. So 1-1 the count now to Spence. Here's the pitch. And that is going to get down a liner straight away. And that is through for a hit. So now first and third. Boy, and they keep giving up these base hits. That's what's going to get them whooped if they lose this one here tonight. This game is so important for San Antonio. If they don't get it, then if Amarillo wins against Midland tonight, as you said there, John, the Sod Poodles will take that second place position. It'll put San Antonio down to third place. Yeah, Bob, and it does eliminate them from a playoff chance. So that's right there, caught to the shortstop. And there is out number 1. First and third here in this half inning for Corpus Christi. Boy, to tell you what, Jagger Haynes going pretty good here tonight. And all-knowingly, tomorrow night, Marcos Castañon back in the lineup for the second base area. Trevor Austin, the third baseman, is 1 for 1 single. Boy, Tulsa leading Northwest Arkansas, bottom of the second inning. It's Drillers 6, Northwest Arkansas 1. And that is the count now, 0-2. Arkansas leading it against Frisco, 1-0. Top of the fourth, Springfield leading Wichita. Top of the fifth, Corpus Christi leading San Antonio. And that's going to be right there, and that is going to be the play made as a run in to score. Now 2-0 Hooks. And now right fielder Luis Baez coming in. Wind up and a pitch. And that's inside for a strike. The count now 0-1. High temperature today, 100 degrees. Boy, howdy. Got hot today, felt like 120 here in Corpus Christi today. Gotta say, you're not wrong about those temperatures there, John. Thunderstorm activity is also in the works. It's getting going. No, that is for sure. Here's the 0-2. That's a high pop-up straight away, left field. Murphy under it, makes the play. And he passes that to Rosemond Verdugo just to avoid that runner in scoring position from advancing to third.
Number 24.
Ty Whitaker, the designated hitter. Strikeout is 0 for 1 here tonight. And they pitch out, nothing doing. So that will miss outside for the ball. The count now at 1-0. And before that 1-0 pitch, a runner back at first standing. So just making sure that they keep him aware of where he needs to be. 1 ball, 1 strike now the count. 2 out, 2 on here in the bottom of the third. 1 run scores for Corpus Christi. Now making it a 2-0 ball game here for the Hooks. The 1-1. That one's skied high in the air, straightaway center. And it is out number 3, as that'll do it. Well, a run in to score, couple of hits. 1 error in the inning, but nothing bad. We'll head to the 4th, and it's Hooks 2, San Antonio nothing. 4th inning set to go right after a break. Now set to go. Top of the 4th for San Antonio. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Well, here is the designated hitter, Albert Fabian. 4th inning of work. As Trey Dombrowski comes in. And that is the count now at 1-1. San Antonio looking for their first run of the ball game here. Be pretty nice. They come in and get something going. That's the count now, 1-2. Bowers that one in. 1-2 offering, and that is foul. So still hanging on in the count. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be out of play. And the count now 1-2. Still hanging on is Albert Fabian. Not giving up the battle. And the count now 2-2. I don't think any starting guy behind the bat now should give that up. And right there, that is out number 3 as he swings and misses. And there's one down. Boy, Fabian going down on strikes the last time he came up, and so far I don't think that is pretty good for San Antonio, as now here is Rosman Verdugo as he gets going. Boy, Springfield leading at 3-0 against the Wichita Wind Surge there at the porch. Boy, Wichita getting beat by a 1-run score, and we'll pull that up from yesterday. And so far, yeah, 8-6 the final. Thank you there, Bob. Now, Bob runs the computer, and so far, watch the play-by-play. Right there, swing and a miss, and that's out number 2. Kai Murphy coming in is 0 for 1, a strikeout. Don't forget, tonight is post-game fireworks, so make sure you guys stay in. And who cares if it rains? We need the rain. That way keeps the grounds nicely wet. Nothing will catch fire.
Foul ball!
And right there, that is a foul ball. The count now 0-2. I tell you one thing, San Antonio, through the last couple of days, has been really hot. Fans keep telling me, messaging me, oh, John, it's been really hot.
Yeah, I tell you, Jonathan, it's hot there in San Antonio. I mean, it's only rained, one time?
Yep. Well, 3 up, 3 down as we go now to the bottom of the 4th. Carnell Pratt to lead us off in the bottom of 4 when we come back. Bottom half of the fourth inning set to go for Corpus Christi right now on the Hooks Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Carneal Pratt leading it off the bottom half of the order for the Hooks. Straight ahead against Logan Gillespie. Here's the windup, and that's going to be right there. Line straight up the left field through for a hit. And that will be a single with nobody out.
The shortstop, number 3.
Wow, gotta say, oh, looking pretty good right there, John. Yeah, it sure is. Well, it looks like the manager is going to come out. Gillespie looks like he's tired. 38 pitches in the start of this ball game. And so far, that is going to do. Justin Yeager is coming in now for San Antonio in relief. I got to say, pretty good getting going in this one. So looking at the forecast, and fans are saying overnight thunderstorms by later on tonight there in San Antonio. And so far, got to look at Corpus Christi. Rain is possible at 10 o'clock, which we'd be done after this ball game. We got overcast conditions as we get going. Here is the pitch, and that is going to be right there. Line up the right field through for a hit. Second hit of the half inning. And boy, Corpus Christi trying to get more runs here. Third and fourth runs on the plates. And that is in for a strike to Walker Janek, who is 0 for 1, a ground out. And don't forget that Sunday is Father's Day. So make sure you guys take your dad out to the Father's Day game. I did forget to mention about that Sunday was going to be Dad's Day. That one is a high pop-up, out of play, foul. The count now 0-2. Father's Day baseball. Also, seems like the first half is ending on Sunday. But so far, it doesn't end on that. So right there, that is going to be out number 1 on the fly, but the runner gets up to third. So now corners, now with 1 away, 2 for 2 double single and 2 runs as second baseman Riley Unruh. Boy, Midland and Amarillo are scoreless through 4 innings already. There at Wateridge Field in downtown Amarillo. That is straightaway up the center. Roberts get it. Here comes the run. And that will be the third for Corpus Christi. Man, and they lead 3-0. And gotta say, San Antonio is trailing those 3. Insurance runs coming in 3s.
Number 89.
Lucas Spence 2 for 2, 2 singles and RBI here tonight. Getting ready to go. Here's the pitch, and that is in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Well, we could have a little bit of thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, early evening. But most definitely checking the weather here in Corpus Christi. That is right there. Hit the third. Rosemond Verdugo picks it up. And that is straight to Sanabria. The half inning comes to an end. A run on a couple of hits. No errors and 2 left on. As we head to the 5th. Corpus Christi leading 3-0.
Now pitching.
Well, we'll have Hudson Leach, a right-hander, to get the 5th inning underway. On the mound for Corpus Christi. And so far, we'll be back right after our breaks. Now set to go for the 5th inning right now. The Hooks Baseball Network. Right-handed reliever Hudson Leach is coming in. Four-seam slider, curveball slurve, a circle change on the 5-pitch mix of his reservoir. And so far, gotta say, looking really good for him as he comes on now for Corpus Christi. 9-hole batter is Jagger Haynes. Coming in, playing the second base area tonight as he fills in for Marcos Castañon. Castañon being off for one more night. Hope he had a good 3 days off. He really needed it. And so far, anybody else that needs a 3-day off, they can definitely get it. 2 balls and no strikes. And the pitch. Still on the injured list, Francisco Acuna, who is still on the injured list. And most definitely, hopefully, he gets better by August when San Antonio play host Springfield. Well, that would be pretty nice, but hopefully the doctors will say he could be allowed back to play. That's for sure. We'd definitely love to see him back in the lineup this August. So hopefully, he was out April, May, June. And, so far, June, July.
Ball 4,
but
take your
most evidently get going in that.
Number 11.
Well, anyway, they're going to call that, and that is ball 4. So a holdup getting pretty interesting for San Antonio as that catcher for Corpus Christi disagreed about that. So Luis Verdugo coming in. 1 for 2 of the night. And we'll take that one outside for a ball. The count now 1-0. That catcher for Corpus Christi did not win on that case. That is for sure. Now the slider, the count now 2-0, trying to make him chase. So good holdups here. Getting going. And that is in for a strike. But no, they're going to call that. That was way outside, but they're going to uphold that to a 2-1 count. Man, how can an umpire be a little donkey boy? Yeah, probably a little bit too much. Now that's going to be ball 3. Roberts awaits on deck. But tell you one thing, now that the count now 3-1, runner at first. And here's the pitch. And that is ball 4. So now that will be first and second. And still holding up ball 4 on the umpire held. So now the tying run is Kai Roberts, who's 0 for 2 and 2 strikeouts tonight. Good holdup by the San Antonio batters.
That's a ball.
That one is outside. Is the count now 1-0. Man, I tell you, this starter, the relief starter Hudson Leach, is not throwing any strikes in the strike zone. It's really rough, but there you go. It's 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Now walk the first 2 batters and getting in there. Well, that is for sure. That is right there and out of play, and the count now 1-2. Boy, Roberts digged a hole for him on that 1-1 pitch right there. And that's upstairs. The count now 2-2. Hopefully to see a change around in this ball game tonight. And that's going to be right there. He goes to 1. And he goes to 2, so that's a double play, and that wipes out that one. 1-6-3. Back to the pitcher. He throws to second, gets him. 1-6-3, and that's a double play. Man, tell you one thing, that could have been nice if he would have just got the 1. But now, runner at 90 feet away. Base hit would get him home. And So far, that would be pretty good. That would be right inside for a strike. The count now 0-1 to Ethan Salas, who's 0 for 1. Inherited the walk here in this one. So far, still no scores.
Ball.
But most evidently pretty good. That's a ball down and in, and the count now 1-1. And that's a swing and a miss, and one more strike. If he swings and misses, and that will do for that half inning. One ball, 2 strikes to count now to Ethan Salas. Here's a 1-2. And right down he goes. Called third strike. And empty-handed. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 walks, and 2 left on. Bottom of 5 coming in, Arturo Flores. About ready to go for Corpus Christi when we come back. Well, about set to go for the bottom half of the 5th inning. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Well, Arturo Flores coming in. A little bit of a huge sky, and so far, sun trying to reflect off of those high-top grays tonight.
Nope, ball.
All right, pitch clock violation on Justin Yeager as he's too late. Getting into his windup. 1 ball and no strikes on the automatic.
Hey.
And that is in for a strike. The count now at 1-1. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count now 1-2. Thunderstorms possible tonight. Unplug sensitive electronics and avoid being outside during the electrical storms. I agree. Being outside, if you hear thunder, you are not far from being struck, and the lightning, it really doesn't travel that far from the supercell. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one hit high and foul. And the count now at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, we'll go ahead and give you a look at your Texas League South Division. Just in a few seconds from now, that's going to be a liner straight away, and it's going to get all the way to the wall. Almost. Warning track nearly got it, but that is a no-out double for Arturo Flores.
Boy, I tell you one thing there, John. That could have been a well infield base hit on top of that play. But most evidently, it just wasn't in for that one.
That is for sure. Here's pitch
Yeah.
now to Trevor Austin. Frisco holding a first place spot, winning last night 13-4. Boy, the Arkansas Travelers fell in defeat after that one. And that's going to be right there. Line drive, and that's through for a hit. And here comes the run in to score. And Corpus Christi now leads by 4.
Man, tell you one thing there, John. These boys are really hitting in this ball game.
Oh, San Antonio has really gotten anything to go. Right there, out to second, out to first, and they get them both. So 3-6-3 double play. And boy, I tell you one thing, it's getting pretty interesting. Sanabria back to Haynes, back to Sanabria. And that is 2 down here in this half inning. So 2 crispy tacos, courtesy of Taco Bell there, to our San Antonio missions. Our fans there in San Antonio. And pretty good on that. Ty Whitaker, the designated hitter, 0 for 2, strikeout and a flyout. Well, starting to get dark here in Corpus Christi. Bottom half of the 5th. And that is going to be line and out of play. Foul. The count now 0-2. Well, so far the rain will come later. So Frisco 37 wins. San Antonio 33. Amarillo 33. Midland and Corpus Christi 29 even. And for the North Division, Tulsa leading 2.5 against Arkansas. Northwest Arkansas in front of a 3rd place position. Wichita in a 4th place. And Springfield down in last place at 27. Well, Trevor Austin getting a run in to score, a couple of hits, no errors, and 2 left on. And we head now to the 6th inning on this Friday night. And it's 4-0 Corpus Christi as we head now to the top half of inning number 6. Halfway point of the ball game here tonight in Corpus Christi. Gotta say, just a lot of hard-hit balls in this ball game from the home side. And so far, pretty good. Line score here as we look at it. Boy, the single runs. 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. Just getting pretty good here for the Hooks. Romeo Sanabria will lead it off as we come back here in the broadcast. And we'll be right back.
Well, just about set to go for the top half of the sixth inning for San Antonio. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Romeo Sanabria getting set to go as we lead it off here in the half inning of the sixth. And here is the pitch, and that's a swing and a miss. Boy, that should have been a home run fastball right there. But Sanabria will come in empty-handed. The count now, 0-1. That's going to be right there. Liner straight away up the left field. It falls in for a base hit. Boy, so far San Antonio's just been getting the hits. The key component of winning the game here tonight is getting those runs. That's what's important. That is for sure. That one is hit high and foul. The count now 0-1 to the right fielder, Braden Carpathios. 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout here tonight. So far, boy, I got to say, it is still no score there in Amarillo. Fifth inning for the Rockhounds and Sod Poodles. Boy, just tell you one thing, that game, it might be a no-hit ball game. And boy, look out there, as that's 1-2 the count now to Carpathios. One ball and 2 strikes the count. Here's the pitch. And that will miss outside, couple of inches, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. And that's going to be lofted high in the air, straightaway center. And that is out number 1.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 40.
Well, number 40 is coming in. It's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that one is out of play. Boy, Fabian could do damage. If he could get one high one, that would put him on the board now. The 0-1. That one is out of play, foul. That will go bouncing into the fans. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on here in the 6th inning. And he goes after it, empty-handed, swings and misses. And that is out number 2. Bro, that's cool that you use a different scoreboard in the video game. I thought the scoreboard before, it's a pretty good, neat scoreboard.
Now pitching, Cody Bolton.
I used that scoreboard before on my full game on my YouTube channel. Cody Bolton coming in now. So far, you got the first look that looks pretty good, and then you got this look looking pretty cool as well. Rosman Verdugo coming in. So far tonight, Braden, MLB The Show Gaming coming in the live chat. Welcome, Braden. Rosman Verdugo, the 7-hole batter.
That's a ball.
And that is down and in, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the windup and the pitch. That one is drilled high in the air. Is it going to go? It is. Oh, boy. It is out of here. Boy, that was inside the foul pole. Rosman Verdugo comes back for a pair. And now it's a 2-run deficit. Man, pretty good hitting there as you look at that one. 430 foot. And there, a new world record for San Antonio, 106. Ty Murphy coming in. And now new score reads Corpus Christi 4, San Antonio 2.
No, that missed. That's a ball. Well,
although it would be a good idea
for the ballpark to play in, too. And I was thinking it should be this ballpark for all of San Antonio team home games because that stadium is sick for that. Oh, good for Corpus Christi, too, which we're in right now. Anthony Madado, Sam Carlson. Right-handers. Warming up in the Hooks bullpen as well. Yeah, right there, the count now 2-1. I love the scoreboard, too. It's really good. That one is outside on a sweeper, and it's 3-1. Jagger Haynes waits on deck. So I got to agree, Braden. I like the scoreboard, too. It's really nice. It's got a good look to it. You could have the full logos of your two ball clubs. And then the inside look in the top half of the sixth inning. Pretty good. That's right there. Through the leg, center field, a base hit. And by golly, that was up the middle. I mean, you look at it. That was like under him. Yeah, it sure was. Well, just good thing it didn't ricochet right up to the mound and hit him. That one is high in the air up to right field, and that is out number 3. But this one by Rosman Verdugo for San Antonio, a home run will put him on the board. We are 6.5, and Corpus Christi still leads by 2. It's 4-2 Hooks. Carneal Pratt coming in for the Hooks when we come back for the bottom of the 6th. Now set to go for the bottom of the 6th right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Carneal Pratt coming up now, the bottom half of the order against Justin Yeager. 4-2 ball game, Corpus Christi leading 2 against San Antonio.
Yeah.
That is in for the strike. Count now 0-1. Got to say, for the rest of this season, the scoreboard will be coming along with us. That's pretty good right there. It's going to be right there, line drive, and that will go out of play as it hugs the line foul. And count now 0-2. Here's pitch. And that's going to be right there. Hit to Haynes at second. And they overshoot it. Boy, what the heck?
Now batting, the
Oh,
shortstop.
Jagger Haynes, I am... Oh, man, I tell you, I wish... That's like getting on a bronc in a rodeo, and that bronc just kicks you right off.
Sure. Yeah, sure does. Boy, somebody in the Corpus Christi
Dugout had to take cover on top of that. Like they saw a tornado coming at them. Yeah, that for sure. But that's now going to be an error on Jagger Haynes. And now Corpus Christi getting one back. It's now a 3-run ball game. And I got to say there, Bob, Jagger Haynes, he deserved getting that error. No doubt about it. He should have aimed low instead of high, and he overshot it into the Hooks bullpen. And that's going to be right there, high in the air, and now play. The count now 0-1. Walker Janek is 0 for 2, a fly out and a ground out here. Hooks 5, San Antonio 2 in this ball game. Well, we still don't have any different of the scores in the Texas League. Springfield leading 3-0, top of the 5th. Tulsa against Northwest Arkansas, 6-1. Arkansas leading Frisco, bottom of 4. Corpus Christi leading San Antonio, 5-2. No score there in Amarillo at Water Ridge Field. The 0-2. And that's going to be driven up nicely. That is up to center field, through for a hit.
Boy, I gotta say there, John, they're coming back in full force. And so far, these runners coming in. One error apiece for both sides here tonight.
Ball.
Splitter down and inside. The count now 1-0. 2 for 2, double, single, RBI, and 2 runs by Unroad tonight. And that's going to be another trip to the mound for the San Antonio manager. Well, Garrett Hawkins is going to come into this ball game, and so far, first 2 pitchers coming in, and they both got drug out by the manager. And so far, the first 2 didn't do too good tonight, but a third,
Now pitching.
that is Garrett Hawkins as he comes in. 4-seam changeup slider and a 2-seam fastball coming in for San Antonio here tonight. But anyway, a pretty good one getting going. First and second, nobody out. Riley Unroad to the plate now. Hits that one out of play, foul, and the count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's a ball.
And that is outside. The count now 2-1. But I will say, through this first half, the last half game of the first half South Division is in Midland. So Rockhounds and San Antonio Missions, they're at Franco Park. 2-2 offering. That one right there, back up the middle as it ricochets, and that's through for a hit. And here comes a run in to score, and now it's a 4-run ball game. Unrow comes in, now 3 for 3. And boy, to tell you one thing, now San Antonio is trailing this ball game by 4.
Well, I hope they could get out of this half inning without any more runs. They got to keep Corpus Christi right where they are.
Spence also a 2 for 3, 2 singles and RBI here tonight for San Antonio. Or should I say Corpus Christi?
Oh, whoops.
You wish he was on San Antonio's defense. That'd be pretty good. Well, out number 1 as that's caught by Rosemond Verdugo.
Now batting, first baseman.
Boy, and I tell you one thing, that these Padre affiliates, they are going pretty good. Arturo Flores coming in as well as he hits that one out. It will go out of play, foul, and the count now 0-1. 1 for 3 double and a run by Flores. Well, we got a great, love the brand new scoreboard. Nice to see the logos and everything else. That one's run down to the right fielder. And so far, that will be Carpathios getting out number 2, but now first and third now. 2 runs here in the bottom of 6 for Corpus Christi. 2-1, 2 out. Trevor Austin to the plate will take a strike inside. And is the count now at 0-1. Boy, Hook's doing good here tonight. And that's going to be up the right field. Carpathios in foul grounds makes the play. And that right there, the half inning over. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for San Antonio. And we head to the 7th inning. It is a 6-2 ball game. So we're back here right after this. Luis Verdugo getting set to go, 7th inning. When we come back. Well, about set to go for the 7th inning. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Well, we do have a little problem going on, and so far that is with Valley Live. The scores have not been registering as what's going on in the Texas League, but we'll go ahead and give you scores as we look at it. Amarillo leading 4-1. And it's the top half of the 8th inning there in Amarillo. And I got to say, that ball game is almost finished between the Midland Rockhounds and the Amarillo Sod Poodles. And so far, I got to say, pretty good one. Corpus Christi leading 6-2 here tonight in the top half as we get ready to go for the 7th for San Antonio. And so far, a pretty good ball game in this one. We'll check the score there in Frisco against the Arkansas Travelers. And gotta say, it's going to be a pretty interesting ball game there at Statesman's Park. But yeah, I guess we could do a little bit of a refresh. Bob, would you do that little refresh for us as we get going? Hopefully that should work it up. There we go. Yes, finally. Well, Arkansas leading 3-0 against Frisco, and I gotta say, that could be the 41st for the Arkansas Travelers as they come in. Amarillo leading 4-1, top of the 8th. That ball game in Water Ridge Field is almost over. Springfield leading Wichita 8-2. And Tulsa leading Northwest Arkansas 7-1. I gotta say, San Antonio is not doing good here tonight. but evidently the Corpus Christi Hooks are leading 6-2 against San Antonio here tonight. And gotta say, pretty good. Well, anyway, we're top half of the 7th inning here in Corpus Christi. Here is Luis Verdugo. 9 outs remain for San Antonio here tonight for a Friday evening. And that is going to be outside the count now, 1-0. Cody Bolton on the hill for Corpus Christi. And that's going to be a bouncy ball right there, out of play, foul. And the count now at 1-1. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be high in the air, straight away, up to right field. Getting straight away center is the right fielder to run it down, and there's out number 1.
Now batting, center fielder.
Boy, so far tonight is going to be a blowing defeat for San Antonio if they let the Hooks win here tonight. Yeah, I got to say, John, that will be a bad thing. I mean, Amarillo could clinch that first half South Division playoff card right there. Yeah, right there. That's right there, as that's going to get down. Hopefully he can beat it out. And a footstep, he got him. Out number 2. Boy, that was awfully close. And so far, that could have been... No, but how did they call that out? His foot was on the bag. Look at that. He beats it. That could have been a safe play. Oh, dang there, John. I got to say, if I was a manager, I would have went out and I would have challenged that call right there. Don't care how many minutes it would take, but I would have went out there and challenged it. Yeah, me too. Ethan Salas coming in now. 1-0 the count now, as that's in for a strike. And the count now 1-1. If that ball beated him, you know, he had plenty of time. He knocked it down, and so far, his bag was, you know, his foot was on the bag. And the ball, you know, was right there. I mean, that's kind of a weird play. I mean, don't get me wrong there, Bob. Yeah, I gotta say, John, absolutely right. But anyway, I guess let it be, let it be. Okay. Well, 2 balls and 2 strikes to count now. Boy, close to the bottom half of the 7th inning here tonight. Wind up and the pitch. And that's going to be high flying in the air up to right field, and that will do it. So that'll end 7.5 innings. And we go now to the 7th inning stretch here in Corpus Christi. And it's time to take me out to the ball game, which we will sing. Well, the Hooks out in front, 6-2. As we get ready for the bottom of 7 straight ahead.
Well, hope you've enjoyed your seventh inning stretch here at the ballpark tonight as we lead it off in the bottom of the seventh right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Luis Baez coming up, 5-6-7, due up for Corpus Christi. Garrett Hawkins on the mound for San Antonio coming in his relief. Boy, this game sure is good here tonight. Hook fans are being treated to a good ball game. Right there, out to right field, Braden Carpathios will get that one for out number one.
Hitter, number 24.
Got to bring up Ty Whitaker, 24. That is out of play, foul. The count now 0-1. No balls, one strike to Ty Whitaker. And that is going to be out of play, foul. And the count now 0-2. Boy, I don't know how I missed all of those scores, but Bally Live needs to get up there and be like, hey, update your scores in the ball games when they're going on.
Now batting.
Well, a one-out single continues up to right field, and Carneal Pratt coming in, and double play will get him out, and San Antonio will have the top half of the eighth set to go. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be right there up to left field, as that is caught by the left fielder, Kai Murphy, as that is out number 2.
Now batting.
Boy, pretty good right there.
Shortstop, number 3.
Boy, Amarillo leading 5-1, bottom half of the eighth against Midland. Rockhounds trailing that 4-run difference in that ball game there at Water Ridge.
Hey,
And that one is going to be in for a cold strike. It's the count now 0-1. Boy, it is top half of the sixth as Tulsa leads 8-1 against Northwest Arkansas. Springfield leading Wichita 8-3. So far, we're getting some pretty good scores in here. Corpus Christi up 6-2 against San Antonio. And pretty good. Here's the 0-2 offering, and that is going to be out of play, foul. And still holding on in the count now, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count now. And the pitch. Fouls that one off. And boy, he's still fouling them off, and gotta say, pretty good on top of that one, huh, John? Mm-hmm. Here's the 0-2 offering, and that's going to be a ground ball. And he'll force him out to second as Jagger Haynes will get on the bag. So that will do for the half inning. So no runs, a couple of hits, no errors, and they leave 2. Eighth inning coming up. Corpus Christi out in front. It is 6-2.
Bounce at the go for the top half of the eighth inning. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Romeo Sanabria coming in as we lead it off here in the top half of the eighth inning for San Antonio. Boy, so far, Missions out of this series only won that one game on the doubleheader on Wednesday in Game 2 by 1-0. And that one is crushed. It is gone. And San Antonio gets one back. Romeo Sanabria puts that one out of reach, and it is 6-3. Boy, so far, a pretty good ball game here tonight. San Antonio could come back and get something going. Hopefully he can. Well, that is for sure there, Bob. Hopefully they could get the Missions fans in San Antonio cheering after that home run shot by Romeo Sanabria. So far, a lot of good prospects in the San Antonio Missions. Defensively, out there in the left field area is Ty Murphy. Ty Murphy out there in left. Center field is Ty Roberts, and right field is Braden Carpathios. And first base, Romeo Sanabria. Tonight playing in second base is Jagger Haynes. And so far, pretty good. Third base is Rosemond Verdugo. And then the shortstop, Luis Verdugo, as he's in. And then the catcher, Ethan Salas, behind the plate for San Antonio. And you know what? I've been practicing on these names for a long time there, Bob.
And you know them quite well. I'm very impressed.
Wow. And that is right there. The count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count now to Carpathios. And the pitch. That's going to be outside. The count now 2-2. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying the ball game tonight. You're here in Corpus Christi, or you're watching from San Antonio, which that is good too. Boy, just 2 more games left here in Corpus Christi for the year. That is going to be a bouncy ball right there, straight to first in time. And that will be out number 1. Beautiful first base shot here tonight. Here's a designated hitter, Albert Fabian. 0 for 2, a walk. Arkansas leading 4-0 against Frisco. Amarillo leading 6-1 against Medellin. I think the Rockhounds have really gave that one up. And well, I think San Antonio, being a loss, would give that second place and playoff spot to Amarillo. Well, that would play made, and that would be out number 2. Fabian is down on a strikeout. Rosemond Verdugo coming in, who is 2 for 3, a home run single, 2 RBIs, and a run. Coming in for San Antonio here tonight. A lot of seagulls flying straight up to right to center field. You can see them. And right there out to first. And that will pretty much do it. But Romeo Sanabria getting this home run courtesy of Sanabria. We're 8.5. Corpus Christi in front, 6-3. So we go bottom of 8. When we come back, Walker Janek is leading it off for the bottom of the 8th inning when we come back. Bottom half of the 8th inning for Corpus Christi. Right now, the Hooks Baseball Network. Walker Janek coming in now. Thank you, Bob. 9-1-2. Coming in against the San Antonio reliever, Garrett Hawkins, on the mound for San Antonio. And here is the pitch. 6-3 is our score. That one is a high pop-up straight away. Salas under it, makes the play, and that is out number 1.
Now batting, second baseman, number 82.
Well, Riley Unroe coming in, 3 for 3, double, 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs here tonight. Pitch perfect tonight for Corpus Christi. And that is going to be in for a strike. The count now 0-1. 3 for 3 is Unroe. And the pitch. High in the air, straight away. Right field, Carpathios runs it down on the warning track. It touches the base of the wall as he runs into it to make the play for out number 2. Lucas Spence, the next batter up for Corpus Christi. He's the last out of the frame. The pitch.
Yeehaw!
And that is in for a strike, and the count now 0-1. Well, if you're having a good time here at the ballpark or even in the live chat, say yes. Hopefully you are.
Hey!
A lot of fans in San Antonio having a good time. Enjoying the ball game from Nelson Wolff Stadium. The 0-2. Right there, ground ball straight away. And not a play made, as that will be an infield single. And now Jagger Haynes getting his second error. And boy, I tell you one thing, that second error, that is the second costly error he has made here in this game tonight. Youch. Well, I got to say, John, you make so many errors, that will definitely get you. Out there to right field as Jagger Haynes gets it. And so far, making amends after 2 errors tonight, he finally gets the final out. 9th inning coming up. 6-3 is Corpus Christi. And final 3 due up as we get ready to go. Ty Murphy, Haynes, and Verdugo coming up now for San Antonio. Lambert Santa is the last reliever of the Corpus Christi Hooks that they will use tonight. Well, it looks like Amarillo just called their ball game, and so far will definitely get that one. The Sod Poodles now clinching a playoff spot. So 34 against Midland. Wow. So Sod Poodles will now move to second place. That will put San Antonio down to third place. And gotta say, that is just sad that now 3 outs to go, and tonight will be a night that anybody will get a clinch playoff spot. And so far, Frisco, Arkansas, and Amarillo, and I do believe Tulsa getting that playoff spot as well. So I think the final 4 teams will be those as we get ready to get going. Yeah, I got to say, John, that's going to be really good for those 4 ball clubs getting in. And so far, pretty good. So let me mention those again. Frisco, Amarillo, Tulsa, and Arkansas. 4 of the first and second half teams in the South and North getting pretty good. But anyway, Drillers, boy, they're doing good. 9-1 there at Riverboat Field in Northwest Arkansas. And got to say, that's a pretty good ball game there. And so far it is. It's getting pretty interesting as we look at it. far, the Tulsa Drillers getting pretty good this season. 42-23. Well, tonight, Arkansas could win in Frisco, and it'd be a game and a half. But most evidently, things could change for our first and second half winners. I mean, it could definitely change for the Final Four. But most evidently, this season still goes on, and anybody could still get into a second place position and get into a playoff race in this one. But anyway, Midland and Amarillo called their ball game. The Sod Poodles take the W in the final score against Midland, 6-1. So pretty good ball game there at Water Ridge tonight. Well, do believe, I gotta say, Springfield doing pretty good against Wichita. And so far, it looks like the Cardinals will pick up their 28th and tie up against Wichita. But anyway, yeah, Springfield could definitely get something going, and they could get in there and tie up against the Wind Surge. And then if they could win too, somebody could clinch a third place. Northwest Arkansas being in that third place, Wichita and Springfield, it's any of those two that could take that third place. I mean, most definitely. But anyway, as we get ready to go for the half inning of the ninth, we're back here at the Texas League Baseball here in Corpus Christi. 6-3 your score as Lambert Santa coming in. Four-seam slider, curveball, changeup, a sinker. 97 on his fastball. I gotta say, pretty good on that.
Left fielder, Kai Murphy.
Left fielder is Kai Murphy, 3 outs away. And here is the pitch. And that one is driven up nicely, deep to left field, high in the air, and up to left field, as that will go for the left fielder, out number 1. Second baseman Jagger Haynes coming in is 0 for 2, a walk. And yes, 2 errors for him for San Antonio. And so far, I got to say, you don't want to make too many of them errors, because you make too many, that manager could pull you aside and say, look, you're making too many errors. You need to stop, reorganize yourself, and see what you could do. Work with that baseball. Don't work against it. Just work with the ball. Go with the flow of where that baseball goes, and don't mishandle that ball. Jagger Haynes, 1 for 2. And that's a ground ball straight away. Up in time to first, and they're an out away now.
Now batting.
So far, a pretty good one here tonight, 6-3. As our last man up for San Antonio comes in, Luis Verdugo, 1 for 3, a double. Boy, thank y'all for joining us here tonight in Corpus Christi. Hooks out in front, 6-3. This could be a blow-off door competition. And that one right there, the count now, 0-2. Boy, down to the final strike here tonight. Wind up and the pitch. And that is ricocheted foul. He got the bat on it. Good thing he did. If he would have got that one and missed it, would have been ball game being over. And swing and a miss. Hooks win it. San Antonio eliminated from the playoff rounds. And that will pretty much do San Antonio now picking up their 34th. Hooks will go to 4th place in this one. Man, I gotta say, pretty good. As now that will put up that one right there. You know, so far that will just about do it for this one. And did I say 34? Yes, I did. So Midland will get down to 29 and 36. Boy, Frisco and Amarillo being the first two winners of the South Division first half champions. And then Tulsa and Arkansas. So pretty good ball game tonight, but most evidently, got to say, pretty good. So, yes, we'll definitely stay on the air as we concluded this ball game here in Corpus Christi. Riley Unrow 3 for 4 getting in, and boy, got to say that was a good ball game for him. And player of the game goes for him. Trey Dombrowski is the win on the mound for Corpus Christi. And the loss for San Antonio is Logan Gillespie, as he came in and took the directed loss for the Missions. Well, gotta say, it'll look like, well, we got about 6 ball clubs left competing in this one. Arkansas and Frisco, they're top of the 9th inning. The Travelers lead 4-0. Boy, tell you one thing now, 2 games left of this series. As San Antonio down to their last 2 in Corpus Christi for the year. And gotta say, it's going to be a pretty good, interesting 2 days. You know, Saturday and Sunday both. Looking for 2 back-to-back wins, you know, for San Antonio, and maybe they'll get them. I mean, we'll see what happens. But, you know, San Antonio, we got to say, they lost their last 2 against the Hooks. So far, game 1 of that doubleheader was 2-1. In game 2, San Antonio took it 1-0. And then last night, Corpus Christi won it by a run, 1-0. And tonight, 6-3. There we go. That tells you that San Antonio has lost the last 3. Well, losing the home opener of this series in Corpus Christi. And I will say, you know, just winning that 1 second game was the Missions, and games 3 and 4 being a loss for San Antonio. But yes, that is that series right there. Don't forget game 5 tomorrow. And man, look at them fireworks. Ain't that pretty? Boy, firework Friday and tomorrow evening as well. Don't forget, take your dads out to the ball game on Sunday, as it's Dad's Day, Father's Day. Don't forget about that. Say Happy Dad's Day to a dad out there, or to anybody, family or relative or whoever, you know, pretty good on that. You know, I got to say, John, pretty good as well. No, it is. But anyway, it looks like the Rough Riders down to the bottom half of the 9th inning. And boy, so far they are down to the last 3 outs of the night. Frisco could get their 29th loss of the season. But anyway, yeah, I think San Antonio, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, Midland, Northwest Arkansas, Wichita, and Springfield will definitely be eliminated in September. In the final four teams that took the playoff round, they got their tickets punched, and now these final four ball clubs will definitely make it into the Texas League Championship Series rounds. But first, the playoff rounds will go first, and then it'll be the Championship Series rounds right after that. Last year, Springfield being the win of 2025. And, this year, 2026, it's anybody. Anybody could come in and take this one. But so far, Frisco in first, Amarillo in second, San Antonio in third, Corpus Christi in fourth, Midland in fifth. And then you got Tulsa being the first place in the North Division, which if they take it against Northwest Arkansas tonight, they will be 3.5 against Arkansas, a lot against Northwest Arkansas, Wichita, and Springfield combined. And, so far, it not looking good for anybody in the North Division. These, Arkansas and Tulsa, boy, we have seen these two teams work their hardest this year. And so far, Tulsa just getting up in there and winning so much this year, Arkansas included. And then Frisco, I tell you, the Rough Riders doing pretty good getting in that. But anyway, yes, we're still waiting for final scores here on the air. And so far, we'll give it to you here tonight so we don't have to do it tomorrow evening. Boy, hitting the 9:30 hour already on this Friday night. What's that right there? Looking pretty good. We'll go to Riverboat Field on that and check that broadcast, see how it's going. But top of the ninth inning, boys, Springfield leading Wichita 10-3. And I got to say, I think Springfield has really got a pretty good palette this year. And so far, I think that Springfield could easily get in and win this one here tonight against the Wind Surge there at the Porch. Man, just a lot of fans there at the Porch. They came in, and boy, I tell you, they are really having a good time there in the North Division. Boy, Wichita, this ball club was founded in 2020, just after they got to their new destination from New Orleans. And so far, we'll tell you a little bit of a story if you want to hear it. But anyway, we look at New Orleans. They were a AAA to the Miami Marlins. That was a major league farm system. And so far, you look at New Orleans, they were not doing too good on the attendance. The attendance was very, very low. And gotta say, they closed down the ballpark and everything. The New Orleans City Council said, okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to take these boys and put them up in Wichita. And so anyway, the Wichita City Council decided that they would call them the Wichita Wind Surge, but they'd be a AAA to the Miami Marlins. But after that, COVID-19 came in and shut everything down. On that year, 2020 was bad. But anyway, after that, they got downgraded to a AA team. just like San Antonio did with the AAA that we used to have in the Alamo City. And so anyway, Wichita got the Minnesota Twins AA affiliate. Amarillo got invited to a new affiliate like the Arizona Diamondbacks. And Amarillo sent the Padres affiliate back to San Antonio, which is pretty good. But anyway, pretty good on that one. Well, anyway, we'll still stay live here on this ball game. And yeah, gotta find a pretty good spot. I think right here, we'll put the mic right there. Oh, it is cold in here. This booth is cold. I tell you what. But anyway, I do believe that with Amarillo getting this win tonight, they clinch a playoff spot. Frisco for sure. And Tulsa and Arkansas, they have already clinched it. They are high on the road. I tell you, they are both a team that is unstoppable. These two teams in the North Division really getting something going. But anyway, we look at it, and so far just a pretty good one. All right, so it looks like Wichita is down to their final 3 outs. And so far, Frisco and Arkansas thinking they're wrapping up. Boy, and the Rough Riders need 5 wins, 5 runs to win it in their ballpark. But I think Arkansas has already claimed their 41st of the season. So most definitely we'll keep that in check until they go off the air. And so far, pretty good. Well, final score, Corpus Christi 6-3 against San Antonio. Amarillo 6-1 against Midland. Just waiting on the final 6 teams to converge their ends. And so far, we will definitely call it a night here tonight. But anyway, yeah. Excuse me for yawning. But most definitely, we'll do a highlight reel of tonight's ball game. Just so we don't bore you like crazy. If you know what I mean. But that was a pretty good ball game tonight for both of these teams. And so far, pretty good. Well, it looks like Springfield has already won it. And so forwardly, they claim win number 28 against Wichita. So yeah, 10-3, 2 outs. I think they've already got beat. And so far, there ain't no chance of them catching up. They'd have to make up a lot of runs if they wanted to catch up that badly. Arkansas now picks up their 41st as they win against Frisco by a final score of a 4-0 shutout finish. The Rough Riders will get their 29th. And so far, a pretty good one there in Frisco. 9-1 the score as Northwest Arkansas, they trail 8 runs And I do believe, top half of the 8th inning, still a little ways to go as they will play the bottom of the 9th inning. Oh boy, I tell you what, final scores are starting to pour in. I do believe, I think Tulsa will take the 43rd, and so they will. They will take it against Northwest Arkansas. Well, I gotta say, the final scores are all tallied in, so that is pretty nice. So far we've had Saturday, we've had Friday night baseball. Now we go into Saturday, the 20th, and so far pretty good. Well, we hope y'all had a pretty good night here in Corpus Christi. And the final score, Corpus Christi 6, San Antonio 3. So the Hogs win it, 6 runs on 14 hits, 1 error. And for San Antonio, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors here this evening. For all of us, we hope that y'all come out tomorrow night, post-game fireworks after the ball game. And don't forget, dads, come out to the ball game on Sunday as we wrap up the 6 games on the road against San Antonio. Missions head to Arkansas on Tuesday through next week and Sunday. And so far, it'll be another 6 games on the road after Sunday against Corpus Christi. But anyway, hope y'all have a good night, and we will see y'all again. From Corpus Christi, this has been Hooks Baseball. Saying good night and see y'all later.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Have a safe trip home.
That's right, Bob. We'll head back to the